So now we found out today that through Donna Brazil's amazing confession that in fact the DNC did literally rig the primary against Bernie Sanders. And so they didn't in terms of switching votes, but they did it in things like the debate schedules, the voting stations, et cetera. But now when you look back at New York and you see the voter purge, you begin to wonder, was that ordered by the DNC, controlled by Hillary Clinton? And this is especially bad given that the Democrats are arguing against the voter ID laws that the Republicans have. And we're supposed to be for more voters, not less voters. But especially in the state of New York, unfortunately, the Democratic establishment keeps finding ways to block people from voting in Democratic primaries.
And all of this goes right back to Joseph Crowley. Everyone needs to understand exactly how critical this race is here in New York. Crowley is the head of the House Democratic Caucus. He takes $3 million per cycle from Wall Street. He's essentially the bag man for the Democratic Party, for the establishment Democrats, since basically what needs to happen is that he takes all of the money from Wall Street, he distributes it amongst all members of Congress, and then he basically purchases and builds up his power through there. Nobody knows who Joseph Crowley is, but he wants to be the next Speaker of the House. And a candidate that is entirely bought by Wall Street, we cannot afford to have as the third most powerful person in the United States of America, especially as a Democrat. It is not something that we can do. But he also kind of exerts that power in the Queen's machine as well. And so he bumps progressives off the ballot. He appoints the judges that hears these people's petition challenges and then bump progressives off. So we need a lot of light, a lot of direction onto this race because it's going to be an uphill one, but it is arguably one of the most impactful House congressional races that we can challenge.
So I love that description, Bagman Crowley. And for the Democrats, I mean, Nancy Pelosi brags when they ask her, hey, why are you still the Speaker of the House? She says, no, I raise the most amount of money. I go and get money from rich people and multinational corporations, and then I give it to my colleagues. And that's why, since I take the most amount of money from people, I should be the leader. And Joe Crowley comes in and goes, well, I'm almost caught up to Nancy. She's got the money from California, but I got the Wall Street money. I mean, for real progressives, is that a thing that we should be proud of? I mean, what do you think that's going to lead to? That's going to lead to policy that represents those guys, not us. To me, the thing that drives me crazy is when the media makes that an issue of like, ooh, he used to be respected because he raised a lot of money from big donors. But if you raise money from these giant banks the first time around, okay. But if they gave to you the second or the third time, that means they got a return on investment. Goldman Sachs is not interested in your health, okay? They're not interested in charity. They're interested in a return on investment. So if Crowley keeps getting the Wall Street money, that means they're getting a good return on investment from it.
Absolutely. And this is a district, we're half in the Bronx and half in Queens. I myself, I'm a third generation Bronxite, which means I'm bred for these kinds of battles. But what this really means, though, is that you have to look at the actual district. Half in the Bronx, half in Queens, Rikers Island, right in the middle of the district. If any district needs Medicare for all, free public college tuition, renewable energy economy, and criminal justice reform, it is New York 14. And we need actual representation that reflects the people who live here, that is going to be able to fight for the people who live here because they have had a stake in the game, skin in the game. That's the only way we're going to get this done. And it's not only a matter of are progressives proud of having multi-million-dollar candidates represent them? Is this country proud of having multi-million-dollar corporations purchasing candidates lock, stock, and barrel so that they give billionaires tax cuts, erode our health, make us less educated? That is not the future that we need in this country. And if people think that money in politics is a problem, which, Crowley has discussed or Pelosi has discussed about the problem of money in politics, then you need to walk the walk. And we at some point, The buck needs to stop, and it's going to stop with us. It's going to stop with Justice Democrats. It's going to stop with our supporters. It's going to stop with a wide coalition of Americans saying we are going to change the way we elect candidates in this country. And we need candidates that come from the places that we come from, the backgrounds, the incomes, the areas of the world that we come from. That is what America is about. And that's what a representative democracy should be about.